Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to show you guys step by step how you can still claim the $1,400 stimulus check as well as the advanced child tax credits. Now, I know a lot of folks out there never got their stimulus checks, and I want to tell you guys it's not too late. So you can still claim these checks, and I'm going to show you guys step by step on how to do that. Just like the stimulus check back in 2020, the stimulus check in 2021 is still claimable. So if for some reason you're missing your $1,400 from the third stimulus check, or if you're missing any advanced child tax credits, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to claim those credits in this video. So back in 2021, when President Biden first got inaugurated, he approved a $1,400 stimulus check per person. So that meant that if you were a family of 5, you should have gotten $7,000 in stimulus checks back in 2021. So if for some reason you or somebody in your family did not receive a $1,400 check from this stimulus, then this video is for you. Now I do want to point out that a lot of folks who were unemployed, on SSI or disability, for some reason didn't get their $1,400. Well, this video is going to show you exactly how to claim that. Another stimulus that was also passed was the advanced child tax credits. So if you have children that are dependent on you, you actually should have gotten advanced child tax credit payments. If for some reason you didn't get these child tax credits or you got the wrong amount, I'm going to show you guys how to correct that in this video as well. Also, back in July 2021, President Biden also increased the child tax credits. So if you have children under 6, they were actually eligible for $3,600, and any child between 6 and 17 was actually eligible for $3,000. This is up from the normal $2,000. So that means that a family of 5 with a 3, 5, and 7-year-old, you should have received $850 a month in advanced child tax credits. If you didn't get this amount, or maybe one of your children were forgotten, this video is going to help you claim those credits as well. Another scenario could be also that you had a baby in late 2021 and the IRS didn't actually know about this baby. You can actually claim this child tax credit as well as the $1,400 stimulus for this new baby. I'm going to show you guys how to do all of that in this video. One more important thing I want to note is all these stimulus checks were actually refundable, which means that you actually do not have to work or have any income to claim these. As long as you had children that were eligible, or as long as you were under the income threshold, which if you're not working, then you are, you can claim the $1,400 as well as the child tax credits. So that means that if you're retired or on Social Security or on disability, you qualify for these tax credits. So as you can see, there's a lot of money on the table here potentially, so make sure you guys check out the entire video to claim your tax credits. Now I want to talk about the income limits for both these stimulus checks really quick. For the $1,400 stimulus, as long as you made under $80,000, you should qualify for the entire $1,400. If you're married, you can make up to a combined $160,000 to qualify for the $1,400. That also applies to all your kids. So if you made under those limits, then all your kids will get $1,400 as well, as long as they're child dependents. For the new advanced child tax credits, you would have to make $75,000 or less for a single filer to qualify for the entire amount. If you're married, you can make up to $150,000 to qualify for the full amount. It does start to phase out after that amount, and I know for a lot of you guys this doesn't apply, so I'm just going to skip all that for now. And I also want to repeat that for the child tax credit, for anyone under 6 in the year 2021, they would qualify for $3,600 for the entire year. So if you got advanced payments, that would be $300 a month for that child. And then for anyone aged 6 through 17 in 2021, they would qualify for $3,000 or $250 a month in advanced child tax credits. These numbers will be important later, so that way you guys can calculate the proper amount that you're supposed to be getting. Now that you guys know all the details of the stimulus checks, let's head over to the computer so I can show you guys how to claim these credits. Okay, we are on my computer here, and just like last year, we will be using freetaxusa.com to claim and correct these credits. You can literally use any tax software you like, and it's nearly the same process. This is just the software that I use, but you can also use H&R Block or TurboTax as well. Now, if you've never filed your tax return before, then most likely you're going to be a new user, so you can go ahead and just do Start Free Tax Return here. If you already have an account from last year, you can just simply sign in. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and I already have an account, so I'm just going to sign in. All right, we're going to go ahead and sign in now. Now, because I already have a tax return from last year, it actually lets me import all my own information. If this is your first time doing a tax return on Free Tax USA, you're going to have to enter your information in. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So first thing you want to do is go to taxpayer information. This actually should be the first screen. You're going to want to enter your name, your social security number, and your date of birth. I just have some fake information in here for privacy, so make sure you enter your information in. Now, the most important thing is to make sure that nobody else can claim you as a dependent. So you can see here, I answered no here. If anybody is claiming you as a dependent, then you don't qualify for any of these stimulus checks. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to assume a family of 5 to make things simple. So I'm going to go ahead and enter this information, hit save, and I'm going to do married filing jointly since I'm a family of 5. You can select the appropriate one for yourself here. I'm going to enter information about my wife. As you can see here, I've already put in some fake information. And again, they should not be claimed as a dependent on another person's tax return. Now, once you do that, you're going to get to this next screen where you can enter your qualifying children. So if you have children living in your household and you take care of them, then they would qualify as a child dependent. So you'll want to enter their information in by hitting yes. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to put 3 children in here, and I'm going to have a 3, a 5, and a 7-year-old. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my 7-year-old first. And then here it's going to ask you some questions about that child. And basically they're trying to check if that child lived with you most of the year. And in my case, they did, so I'm going to put yes. And then you can answer these questions as well. And then here you can see the tax software says that this child is eligible as a dependent on your tax return. So I'm going to go ahead and add the 5 and 3-year-old in here. All right, I've gone ahead and added 3 children in here. I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old in 2021. Once you're done with that, you can hit no, continue. And then here is where the important information comes in for the advanced child tax credits. So since you have children on your tax return, it's basically going to ask you if you got any advanced child tax credits. So I want to play out a few scenarios for you guys to help you guys determine what amount you should have received. So for the first scenario, since I have 3 children, I'm just going to assume that the IRS did all the calculations correct and they sent me the right amount. So on the screen on the left here, I'm going to put the amounts that I'm supposed to be getting for each of my children. So since I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old, I should have gotten $850 a month in advanced child tax credits. $250 a month for the 7-year-old, $300 a month for the 5-year-old, and $300 a month for the 3-year-old. So in this scenario, I'm going to put yes here because I did receive some advanced payments here. And then here, we're going to put yes to determine the rest of the tax credit. And the reason why we want to hit yes here is because only half of the child tax credit was actually paid in 2021. We want to calculate the rest of it on the next page here. Now on this screen, it's going to say that the IRS is actually supposed to be sending you a letter 6419. This letter will actually outline all the advanced child tax credits that were paid to you throughout the year. Now in this scenario, I'm just going to put $850 times 6, which is $5,100, and hit save and continue. Now you do have the option of entering it in monthly by just hitting yes here, and you can just put the monthly amounts here and it's going to equate to the same thing. But I'm just going to put $5,100 here for $850 a month times 6. So as you can see there, once I hit continue, you'll see that my federal refund now has changed to $5,100. And the reason for this is because if you have a family of 5 and you have 3 children that are 3, 5, and 7, the total child tax credit is supposed to be $10,200. And so like I mentioned, they only paid half of this from July through December, and now the other half is here in your tax return. This is a typical situation if the IRS did everything correct, and now you can claim the other half on your tax return. Now I want to go back to this page again and play out another scenario. This is scenario 2 where you got nothing and none of your children received any advanced child tax credits. So let's say you had 3 children and you got no money from the government from July to December. So what that means is if you go back another page, you can actually put no here, which means that you did not receive any child tax credit payments. And if you do save and continue now, then this credit here should be $10,200. So you can see there, if you got no money from the IRS from July to December, let's say you opted out for whatever reason, or the IRS just forgot about you or didn't know you had any children, well, this is how you can go and claim those child tax credits. So in this scenario here, my 3, 5, and 7-year-old should have yielded me $10,200 in child tax credits. Now I want to go back and play out another scenario, and this is a scenario that maybe perhaps you got some child tax credits, but one of your children was missing, or maybe you had a baby in late 2021, so the IRS didn't know about that baby. So here you can enter yes that you did receive a child tax credit payment, but on the next page we're going to actually put a smaller amount here. So let's say in our scenario we had 3 children, and then we had a 4th child in 2021. So if you actually did have a 4th child, then most likely you already have the 4th child listed in here. But since I don't, I'm going to go ahead and add just another child really quick here. So you can see here, I'm going to enter a new child that was born, let's say on New Year's Eve of 2021. So technically this baby was born in 2021. So this baby actually qualifies for all the tax credits. So I'm going to go ahead and add this 4th child now. And then we're going to go back to this page here and enter yes that we did receive some child tax credits. But since the baby was born in late 2021, we technically had 4 children that qualified for the child tax credits. So if we do the math and calculate the entire child tax credit, it's actually $3,600 for the newborn, $3,600 for the 3-year-old, $3,600 for the 5-year-old, and $3,000 for the 7-year-old. And that works out to be $13,800 that we should have received. But since we only got $850 a month, we still put $5,100 here. And then if you see we save and continue, you can see that the refund amount is now $8,700. And that's because $13,800 minus the $5,100 is an $8,700 difference. And so the IRS owes you this entire amount still. So that means that that baby is going to be calculated in the missing stimulus here. Now I want to play out another scenario in that maybe you had 3 children, but they forgot the last child. So let's say only the 7 and 5-year-old were paid, and they forgot your 3-year-old. So that means that they only paid you $550 a month instead of the $850 a month. So if we do $550 times 6, that's $3,300 that you received so far. Again, if you don't want to do the math, you can enter it in here manually by doing $550 for each of these. And you can see it's $3,300 still. And when you hit save, it's still going to put $3,300 here. It's the same thing. But because you only got $3,300, you're supposed to be qualifying for $10,200, right? So once we hit save and continue, you'll see this number will update. So you can see there they owe us $6,900, which is the difference between $11,200 minus the $3,300 you already received. So basically on this box here, you're going to want to enter in whatever the IRS has paid you so far. And this means that if they paid you the wrong amount, let's say you had a 5-year-old and they only paid you $250 a month when it's supposed to be $300 a month, well, just enter the amount that you received here because the tax software is going to calculate all the numbers for you and give you the refund that you need. So that pretty much covers how you can claim missing child tax credits or tax credits for missing babies. Now for this scenario, I'm just going to assume we have no income or we're on retirement or a disability. So we're not going to have any W-2, so we're just going to skip all of this. Now if you are on Social Security and you do have Social Security income, you can definitely put some information in here. You have to make a certain amount before you actually have to pay taxes. And for most of you guys, you're probably not going to pay taxes, but you can go ahead and just go into here. So here I'm going to put $12,000 for Lloyd, and here I'm going to put $12,000 for Mary, the wife. And we can go ahead and just skip this screen. And so here you can see it didn't change our tax refund at all. And mainly that's because you didn't make enough to pay taxes. So I'm going to go ahead and skip all of these things like deductions and credits and crypto because none of this stuff is going to apply to you guys. So we're going to go ahead and go straight to the $1,400 stimulus section so that way you guys can claim those as well. This section is coming up again in the credit section. This information should be the same as earlier, so we're going to go ahead and just hit save and continue. So here you can see a summary of what you're supposed to get for each child. And if you remember, we had a 3 and a 5-year-old, and then we had a 7-year-old. And so you can see here, these are the amounts for each of those children. So this section here is the economic impact payment stimulus information. This is the 3rd stimulus check. So this here is where you're going to be correcting if anybody didn't receive $1,400 from the 3rd stimulus check. So I'm going to go through the first scenario, which is everybody just got everything as planned. So I'm going to put yes here that I did receive a stimulus check. And here it's just going to ask you, did you get at least $7,000? And what this means is because we were a family of 5, we're supposed to get $1,400 per person, and $1,400 times 5 is $7,000. So if you got $7,000 or sometimes even more because the government didn't do it correctly, it doesn't matter. As long as you got at least $7,000, you can just put yes here and you should be good to go. Nothing should have changed and you already got your stimulus, so nothing changes. And also if you got more than $7,000 here, you don't actually need to pay it back. So let's go back a few pages and we're going to play out a couple other scenarios. And that is maybe you got no stimulus checks. So you had a family of 5 and nobody got anything. So here you can put no. And what that's going to do is that's going to increase your tax refund by $7,000. And so you can see here you're supposed to get $7,000. So they added $7,000 on top of the child tax credits. That's pretty sweet. Now I do have some faith in the IRS and I do believe that they probably did send some of it out to you, but just not all of it. So that's how you're going to be able to correct this. So in this scenario, you're going to put yes here. Now let's say you only got stimulus checks for 4 out of the 5 people in your household. So what you're going to do here is you're going to put no here. And if you only got 4 stimulus checks for 4 people out of the 5, then you're going to put $5,600 here because that's what you received so far. And what this is going to do is now it's going to put $1,400 to your tax refund. That's how you can get the missing $1,400 for that last child or whoever didn't get their stimulus check. Now there is also one more scenario here, and if you had a baby in late 2021 or anytime in 2021 really, then most likely the IRS did not know about them and they did not send you $1,400 for that baby. So as long as your baby was born anytime in 2021, that baby actually qualifies for this $1,400 stimulus as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add that child back in here. So go ahead and add this child back in here. and they qualify as a dependent. And then we're going to head back over to the recovery rebate credit summary here. This is the same section we were in earlier. And what we're going to do is we're going to put yes that we did receive stimulus checks, and we're only going to put that we received $7,000 for the family of 5. But what the IRS didn't know is that we had an extra baby in 2021. And so you can see here the tax software is actually asking if you actually got $8,400. And so most likely you only got $7,000 for your family of 5. In that scenario, you would put no here, you didn't get $8,400, and you just put $7,000 here for the amount that you received. And then once you do that, you can see it's going to add $1,400 to your tax refund, and then now you can claim this $1,400 stimulus for that new baby. Well guys, those are all the screens specific to the stimulus checks, so make sure if you guys don't understand anything that I said to rewatch this video again. I know I talk a little bit fast, so you guys can also slow down the video to make sure you guys fully understand all the stimulus checks and claim what's rightfully yours. Now for some of you guys shouldn't have to do any more work. If you're unemployed, on disability, or retired, you should be able to just fill out a couple of those screens and skip most of the screens. Go ahead and head to the last few pages, enter the information on how you want to receive your payment. You have the option of direct deposit, a check, or a green dot card. And then once you've decided that, you can e-file your tax return. Now at the time of this recording, you cannot e-file yet because the IRS is not accepting tax returns yet, but most likely in mid-January, they'll start taking these returns. Now if you're only doing a federal tax return, it should be completely free to do this. I don't think there's any reason to do a state return, as I don't think there were any state-specific stimulus, at least not here in California. But if you want to import all that data into a state tax return, you can also use Free Tax USA for that as well. You can always try it, and if nothing comes up, then you don't need to e-file it, and it won't cost you a penny. Well guys, that's pretty much all it takes to claim these credits. This is exactly the same process as I talked about last year to claim the first stimulus check and the second stimulus check. I wanted to make this video to show you guys that it's not too late to claim the third stimulus check and also correct the child tax credit. You have until April 15th, 2022 to claim these. If you need more time, you can also file an extension and claim these later in the year. But if I were you and you have no income and you're not waiting for any documents, you should just claim these as soon as possible. That way you get your refund as soon as possible. Because once people start filing their taxes, it's going to take a long time for the IRS to process these. So make sure you guys get yours in as soon as possible. For those of you who are employed, make sure you wait until at least January 31st. So that way all your documents arrive before you actually file your taxes. Most likely you're going to have to fill out a lot more information like W-2 and interest payments on your home, etc. So you'll definitely want to do all of that as well as what I talked about. Now for some of you guys, this may be too complicated for you guys. You also have the option of doing this at a local tax branch as well. So you can go to H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt and they can do the exact same thing that I mentioned in the video. Make sure you just let them know about what I talked about in the video so that way they can claim your tax credits. Well guys, hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys share this video with your friends and family so that way they don't miss out on the stimulus checks. I know a lot of families are struggling out there and I know a lot of them haven't received their stimulus checks, so make sure you guys share this video with them to show them how to claim it. And like I mentioned, if you guys have any questions or any questions about your friend's situation, let me know down in the comments below. I'll do my best to help you guys. Also, consider subscribing to my channel, and I wanted to wish everybody a happy new year.